Optimizing biochar production in the Ring of Fire biochar kiln. This video is to help leapfrog you in your biochar production process to help you optimize production. These tips are based on experience from Ring of Fire kiln users, and the goal of this video is to teach you the optimization strategies that you would learn over your first several burns. Each context is different, and you might find more and better ways to optimize production in your particular situation with your local fuels and weather conditions. We're excited to hear from you and for you to contribute to helping the Ring of Fire community improve and develop best practices. This video will take you through the entire process from ignition to loading to the quenching process at the end, including strategies for dealing with larger, wetter material and with partially burned pieces. Initial loading. To start, pack the Ring of Fire kiln full of small, dry material that is 1 to 2 inches or 3 to 5 centimeters in diameter. You want to pack it fairly densely so the flame will carry downwards. Load it full up to about a foot or 30 centimeters above the kiln rim. Make sure there are no large empty pockets that will not carry the flame down to ignite the lower layers. We don't usually put any large material on the bottom because it won't completely char. With continual loading, the hot zone moves up to just under where the flame is, and the bottom of the kiln cools quickly. If you have long, straight pieces, it can be helpful to arrange them radially inside of the kiln with the ends pointed inward to form a cone or teepee shape. This will help focus the heat for stronger ignition. Ignition. Start your ignition just below the rim of the kiln, making sure there is enough kindling size material above the ignition point to ignite easily. You can use a leaf blower to accelerate the ignition process if fuels are wet or damp. Use a propane torch or drip torch to accelerate ignition throughout the kiln. A torch is especially helpful if your material is damp or larger than a few inches in diameter. If you can find some pitch wood, you can create an ignition pocket with your driest material. Light that pocket with a match or a lighter, and then add more kindling on top of the flame until you have a strong blaze that can dry out and burn the rest of the material. Production process. The key to efficient production is to sort by size and layer same-sized material evenly in the kiln. Crews tend to focus loading in the middle of the kiln, so make sure to watch out for empty pockets around the edges and keep them filled with material. Longer pieces can be loaded in a teepee structure so they fall inward as they burn down. If you have thicker material, it works well to place these upright on the downward side of the kiln to let them start heating up, drying and burning. These can then be pushed into the kiln after 20 to 60 minutes, and they can then form part of a new layer being added. Sometimes, with mini workers, loading can be too fast. When this happens, the flame is smothered and the kiln starts to smoke. Back off and only start loading again when the flame reappears. While we try to avoid using larger, wetter material, one strategy for utilizing the material is to save it for the last part of the burn and make a tall stack of logs on top of the hot coals in the kiln. Keep loading smaller material on top of that at a rate that maintains a strong flame. This will help dry out and char the larger, wetter material. As long as the flame is always maintained, the already formed char in the bottom of the kiln will be preserved as the flame consumes all of the oxygen. Unburned pieces. If you have unburnt pieces after quenching, first make your unburnt volume measurement using the char app, and then create a pile to the side where the unburnt pieces can burn out and create a little bonus char pile for you. If you need to leave the site before this is complete, however, make sure to properly put them out and separate them from each other in a safe place on mineral soil so they will not reignite.